Welcome to my class. Today I am talking about a very important topic, mammary gland, which is clinically and anatomically it's a very important topic. The specific objectives of today's topic, it includes location and extent of the mammary gland, external features, relation structure of the mammary gland, age changes of the mammary gland during the puberty stage, adolescent stage and pregnancy stage, blood supply of the mammary gland, lymphatic drainage, self-examination of the mammary gland and clinical anatomy. The mammary gland in female, it's a modified sweat gland. It's a well developed, and in case of male, it's a rudimentary and functionless. Why? Because of it's not capable to produce the estrogen, progesterone, and in some cases, particularly genetical abnormalities like a Klinefelter syndrome, the gland is look like a female gland. The gland is located in the subcutaneous tissue of the anterior thoracic wall in the pectoral region. The shape of the gland is look like a conical in shape or semi-spherical shape. In old age women above the age of 60 to 70 years, the gland is sag and it is going to be appear like a pendulous. The extent of the gland horizontally from the lateral border of the sternum to the mid-axillary line, and vertically from the second rib to sixth rib. The upper lateral quadrant of the breast is from the small tail into the axilla at the level of the third intercostal spaces is called as a axillary tail of Spence. The axillary tail of Spence that passes through the axillary fascia, a small opening of the foramen is called as the foramen of Langer. Mammary gland, it divides into 4 quadrants by the surgeons. The surface of the breast divided into 4 quadrants based on the anatomical location. The vertical and horizontal line towards the nipple, it divides the upper lateral quadrant, upper medial quadrant, lower lateral quadrant, lower medial quadrant. And 60% of the carcinoma of the breast commonly seen in the upper lateral quadrant. And these quadrants are used for the description purpose by the surgeons or physicians to detect the tumors, cysts, lumps. And nipple is concerned, it lies over the 4th intercostal spaces and contains the smooth muscles and rich nerve supply. Due to the rich nerve supply, it is sensitive to erect when tactile stimulation occurs during the milk feeding and sexual arousal. A small dark pigmented area encircling around the nipple is called as a areola. The areola contains the sweat glands, sebaceous glands and smooth muscles, and during the pregnancy these sweat glands and sebaceous glands look like a tubercles over the areola, and this kind of condition is called as a tubercles of the Montgomery. You can see that tubercles of the Montgomery. Relations of the mammary gland. The relations are concerned superficial relations. The gland is look like a convex. It contains the skin, superficial fascia, and anterior and lateral cutaneous nerves and vessels. And deep relations are related to the base of the gland. You can see that base of the gland, it is a concave in nature. The base of the gland, deep relations also known as a mammary blade. From superficial to deep, the relations are, we can see that there is a here, the small space is there in between the base of the gland and then pectoralis fascia. This space is called as a retromammary space. Clinically, this space is very important. And further, pectoralis fascia, pectoralis major muscle, then serratus anterior, external oblique muscle, and these are the relations concerned to the mammary bed. And in this diagram, we can able to see the internal structure of the gland. The structure of the gland, it shows two structures. One is the stroma, other one is the parenchyma or glandular tissue. And the stroma is a connective tissue made up of the fibrous septum and adipose tissue. And here the stroma condenses to form the suspensory ligament of the Cooper's. You can see that suspensory ligament that will be divides the lobes and lactiferous duct. And parenchyma is concerned, it consisting of the 15 to 20 glandular lobes. The each lobe composed of the small structure is called as a lobules. You can see that lobules, that you can see that there is a one lobule and another lobule, and each lobules contains grape-like clusters. A tiny bulb is called as a alveoli or acini. These alveoli is capable to produce the milk, and these alveoli that will form the interlobular duct or milk duct. These ducts are drains into the interlobar duct or terminal duct, and the number of collecting terminal ducts that will be form the lactiferous duct. The terminal end of the lactiferous duct is dilated to form the lactiferous sinus, and it is act as a reservoir of the milk, and this lactiferous sinus is that will form the collecting duct that directly opening into the nipple. And these are the common structures of the stroma and parenchyma. And important thing is the suspensory ligament of the Cooper, it gives the structural integrity and shape of the gland, and these ligaments that will be towards the lobes particularly, and the lactiferous duct. And here in this image we can well appreciate all the structures of the gland. So here you can see the direction of the milk producing during the lactation. Alveoli produce the milk, and these alveoli are acini that will be drains into the milk duct. These milk duct collectively form the interlobar ducts or terminal duct. This terminal duct is collectively form the lactiferous duct or segmental duct. Each lactiferous duct is dilated to form the lactiferous sinus. This sinus is act as a reservoir of the milk, and finally this sinus is form the collecting duct that will be directly opening into the nipple. So these are the common structure of the parenchyma. Regarding the stroma is concerned, it will be consisting of the fibrous septum as well as the adipose tissue, and in between the adipose tissue we can able to see the ligaments. These are the suspensory ligaments of the Coopers. Age changes the breast. Here the aging may increase the risk of developing growth such as a fibroid, cyst, tumors, and particularly in pre-puberty stage the lobes and lobules remain underdeveloped due to the inadequate secretion of the estrogen hormones, and the puberty stage it begins the secretion of the estrogen and progesterone hormones and leads to formation of the suspensory ligaments of the Coopers. And adolescent stage is concerned, there is a adequate secretion of the estrogen and hormones, progesterone, and here the suspensory ligament of the Coopers it gives the structural integrity of the gland. So in pregnancy is concerned, the progesterone and prolactin induces the complete maturation of the gland, and here around the nipple the tubercle of the Montgomery also we can observe. And aging and menopause stage we can able to see the atrophy of lobular and lactiferous duct and increase the adipose tissue and reduce the elasticity of the suspensory ligament of the Cooper in the aging and menopause stage women. Older adult women, the breast is going to be pendulous and sag due to the breast tissue is replaced by the fat and connective tissue. The suspensory ligament of the Cooper is going to be retract, artery supply of the mammary gland, and here the different types of arteries that will be supplied to the whole gland. We can able to see the upper part of the breast is supplied by the superior thoracic artery, a branch of the first part of the axillary artery. The medial side of the gland is supplied by the perforating branches of the anterior intercostal arteries. These are the branches of the internal thoracic artery. The lateral side of the gland is supplied by the acromiothoracic artery, lateral thoracic artery, and these are the branches of the second part of the axillary artery. The base of the gland is concerned, it is supplied by the posterior intercostal arteries derived from the thoracic aorta. Venous drainage of the mammary gland is concerned, it is receive the blood from the superficial veins and deep veins. The superficial veins drains into the internal thoracic vein, and deep veins are that will be drains into the axillary vein, posterior intercostal vein, and internal thoracic vein. The circulus venosus are the small tributaries which are received around the nipple and areola that will be drains into the internal thoracic vein, and very few tributaries that will be drains into the axillary vein. Now supply of the breast. The entire gland is supplied by the anterior and lateral cutaneous branch derived from the 4th, 5th and 6th intercostal nerves, and these nerves contain the both sensory and autonomic nerve fibers, and it will not be control the secretion of the milk. The secretion of the milk is regulated by the prolactin hormone. Lymphatic drainage of the breast, and here the knowledge of the lymphatic drainage assumes great significance to the surgeons as well as the physicians to assess the carcinoma of the breast spread through the lymphatic nodes of the axillary lymph nodes. It can be described under the two heads: lymph nodes and lymphatic vessels. The axillary lymph nodes is consisting of the 5 groups. The anterior group lies on the axillary medial side. The posterior group lies on the posterior wall of the axilla and lateral border of the scapula. The lateral group lies on the axilla and receive the lymph from the upper limb. The central group of the lymph nodes is lies on the pectoralis minor near the base of the axilla. The internal mammary nodes or parasternal nodes that will be seen in the medial side of the gland. These all the 4 nodes that will be drains into the apical nodes. So apical nodes that will be just situated lies medial to the axillary vein. These, apart from that, other lymph nodes also that will be contribute to the lymphatic drainage. These are posterior intercostal nodes, rotors nodes or interpectoral group nodes. the lymphatic vessels of the breast. Here we can able to see the superficial lymphatic vessels and then deep lymphatic vessels. The superficial vessels drain the skin over the breast except nipple and areola. The deep lymphatic vessels drain the parenchyma of the breast and also drains the nipple and areola, and 75% of the lymph from the breast drains into the axillary nodes, and 20% of the lymph from the breast is drains into the internal mammary nodes, and 5% of the lymph drains into the posterior intercostal nodes. And these are the knowledge are very important because of the carcinoma of the breast is spread through these nodes, internal mammary nodes that will spread to the ovary is called as a cucumber of the ovary, and posterior intercostal nodes that will be spread to the vertebra, to the brain. The axillary nodes that will spread to the lungs, liver and other visceral organs, major organs. Pidu orange sign. The pid orange in the breast may be a symptoms of inflammatory breast cancer. The color of the skin of the breast become orange peel or appearance, and you can see that here around the nipple we can able to see the orange peel appearance, and the suspensory ligaments or retract the skin. So the clinical features of these signs and symptoms are dry flaky skin, redness, tenderness, swelling around the nipple. And breast self-examination. Here the breast self-examination in detecting the breast cancer early and increasing the likelihood of survival. A breast self-examination one can does at home by using their hands over the gland to look for the changes and problem in the breast tissue. The woman should thoroughly observe the mammary gland in front of the mirror regarding the size, shape, color of the gland, and this is the common practice of the for examine the own breast. They can rub the hand through the different directions so that they can observe the any lumps, cyst or tumor. Mammography. There is a two types of techniques are there: digital mammography or tomomography, and is a commonly examined patient with family history of the breast cancer. And the X-rays of the breast is taken on the ultra sensitive film with low voltage and high amperage with minimum radiation risk. After examining the X-ray of the mammography images, if the physician or determine the any tumor or cyst or lumps, they can go for the biopsy test for further examination for confirmation of the disease by the histopathological technique. carcinoma of the breast, and 90% of the breast cancers are adenocarcinoma, which arise from the ductal epithelium. So during the carcinoma, tumors is going to be 3 to 5 centimeter in diameter mass. The lactiferous duct are lined by the myoepithelial cells, which are responsible for the development of the carcinoma. You can see that image. The abnormal cells is going to be developed around the lumen of the lactiferous duct. The malignant cells spread through the lymphatic channels to the visceral organs, ovary and brain. These are the voice questions. You should carefully examine the questions. The answers are given in a appropriate reason. You can read very carefully all the questions. These are the questions are very important for the preparation of PG examination as well as the higher studies like a surgery, medicine, pathology and other subjects to correlate. And these are the competency based curriculum of the content. You can go through the syllabus and read the questions particularly. These are the common questions of the annual examinations from mammary gland, and it is claimed for the essay question, and these are the 3 questions are related to the short essay, and these questions are related to the short notes or short answer. Thank you. If you really appreciate my lecture, then please subscribe my channel. Thank you.